seminar I did after coming back to Zimbabwe in 2017 was for free. We advertised free food, free this, that, come, I'll teach you for free. And not even a single person showed up. So I ended up, giving out this seminar to the guys who were actually supposed to be organizing, and arranging for the seminar to go on well. So when you then are called for an event and you see such a big room like this, it motivates me. Okay. So, 2011, it's what, 10 years ago. Net worth, 1 trousers and 2 shirts, that's it. No phone, nothing, and a finance degree. That was it. So I used to preach, sermons like an empty head, an empty purse. Because I didn't have any money. So I used to always tell people, you know what, an empty purse is better than an empty head. Because that's the situation I was in. But retail investors, you people, you should move from quantity to quality when it comes to investment. We need to move from quantity to quality. Yeah. I've never looked at the price of GetBucks, MedTech, NTS, and this is me personally. I've never looked at them. One night, busy enjoying my day, one person told me GetBucks is now more valuable than NMB. And I went on Twitter. Did anyone see that thread? Yeah. Then what happened to GetBucks the next morning? Let's go for quality and not quantity. Are we together? Yeah. Let's not be known as the MedTech people. Let's go for quality and not quantity. So what I basically do, I look at how I invest. I look at quite a number of things. Yeah, the technical analysis, fundamental analysis. I think you need to write this down. Just start checking what is technical analysis, what is fundamental analysis, how does politics affect investments. Zimbabwe is very political, trust me. And if you think you're going to invest without touching politics, you are not, you're wrong. So you need to understand what happens when politicians say certain statements which are risky, yet they do not bring any reward. Risk and reward should be pegged, huh? So you should always look at this. So when it comes to investment as retail traders, apart from looking at quality, let's get into counters which are liquid. I'm just addressing the issues which I was hearing as I was sitting there. Let's invest in counters which are liquid. What do we mean by liquid counters? Liquid counters are counters where you can buy and sell anytime, okay? And you'll find that your Delta, Insco, Econet, these are your liquid companies. They're called blue chips, okay? Then under those blue chips, they are what are called middle tier stocks. Then under those middle tier stocks, they are penny stocks. So most people with little capital are attracted to penny stocks. Why? Because you have the feeling that you have a huge quantity of shares. You see where we're going? Quantity and not quality. So we need to focus more on quality, not the quantity. So what I want you people to do, you should not follow the crowd. My brother said it here. The crowd makes a lot of noise. What you have to do, you have to be unique in the way you invest, which means you have to be a contrarian. A contrarian basically goes against the crowd. I'm not saying when everyone is buying Delta, you start selling Delta. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, before any information becomes, is analyzed publicly. Yeah, my sister was talking of insider trading. All information on the stock exchange is public information. What makes me make money and others lose money is how we analyze it and how we act on it. Are we together? So you should always be unique. I'll give you a very unique example of what I did early this year or early this year. Yeah. So the stock market was closed for an investigation to do with Old Mutual PPC, which is being abused, and then the funds were going via EcoCash and, like that. So after it got frozen for a month or a month and a half, when it reopened, everybody panicked. And when they panicked, they went to sell. So everybody is selling. What happens to the prices? They fall. So when prices fall, this is a tip I'll tell you. Look for price sheet for 2013. This is where you have the highest prices of the Zimbabwe Stock Exchange in US dollar terms. When the prices started falling, what happened? Delta went down to $17 Zimbabwean dollars. And the exchange rate was 1:100, which is 17 cents. But its peak price, it reached around $1.70 in the USD. So what do you do in that circumstance? Everyone is busy selling, saying, hey, each of our food, people and their money. So what do? I took $8,000, converted it, and I bought 50,000 Delta shares. After I bought 50,000 Delta shares, I just went on Twitter. I didn't say much. I just put the 2013 price and the current price. And I said, walala, wasa. And as we speak, that 8,000 has grown because Delta is now at 192 as of yesterday. So we are looking at a profit of almost fivefold in US dollar terms on one investment. So that profit of $40,000 is enough for the whole year. I can decide to wake up sleeping the whole year because I've worked. I've made $40,000 profit with one trade. Okay? So walala wasala. So, but then when you are selling Delta at 17 and we are buying, then it starts going up, momentum starts coming in. Then what do people do? Now they start rushing back into the market to start buying again. You see where the problem is? Yeah. So you should not buy a share because it's going up. Buy it as it is constant after you realize it has potential to go up. Are we together? Yeah. So that's just an example of what happened with Delta Corporation. Then from there, investing on the market, you have to be very observant. Are we together? The biggest fundamental on the stock exchange is none other than politics. And we have an election coming. This is where strategies differ. So I will take those US dollars and put them under the pillow in this period. Why? Because who understands why the stock market is rallying? We've got now, what, 1.3 trillion in terms of market capitalization. Anyone who knows, no. Anyone who knows or understands why the market is going up? Anyone? Yeah. It's an inflationary hedge. When the Zim dollar is there in its quantities, you can't buy property with it. All of you think you can buy US dollars with Zim dollars. Yes, you can, to a certain extent. When we're now talking of $3 million USD, you can't go on the market and write, I read inbox me, 3 million US. You'll be behind bars. So, my retail investors, you've got that advantage. Yes, you can convert your money and do all sorts of funny things. That's okay. But there reaches a level where you can't do it anymore. Okay? So, if you can't buy your dollars on the black market, the other option will be the money market. But the money market, because of inflation, is dead. And like I said, if you're riding a dead horse, there is one strategy. What do? Dismount. Yeah, it's a strategy. Just dismount. So you can't go on the money market. So where else would that money go legally? Those Zim dollars? On the stock market. So that's the reason why it's now worth 1.3 trillion plus, which is about 17 billion with the official rate, which is about 8 billion with the black market rate. Yet, when BT and the GNU guys were there, the stock market was at a maximum of how much? 4.5 billion. And you're saying, buy, just buy. You know the rule of the stock market, buy low, sell high. So is it low or is it high? It's very high. Why? Because of inflation. So I'm not buying. I'm waiting for a correction. And you should understand that when the market starts falling, it falls faster than the way it rises. Yeah. I think you had an example in MedTech. when everyone just wants to sell, that board will be, the red side will be and there will be no bids. It will fall like a rock. So don't be a victim. Don't be part of it. So what you should do, you should look at the market cap. It's just an indicator to tell you that, okay, this is where we are. Okay, anybody knows our GDP at the moment? Gross domestic product. These are things you need to read. To make money on the stock exchange, you need to read. Yeah. Does anyone know the GDP, the current GDP of Zim? How much?
After the rebate.
Yeah, I know, just generally right now. What level of GDP are we looking at? Have we crossed 10 billion USD? Huh? Yeah. So the rule is the stock market operates 60% of the GDP. So if the GDP, for example, has not crossed 10 billion, so how can the market cap be 17 billion? You see, so these things are all telling you that the market will eventually fall. So you need to be ready for that crash. Are we together? Yeah, you need to be ready. And you need to be very strategic. You're not going to be just buying every counter. No, no, no. It has to be strategic. Are we together? There's a company called Meraf in South Africa. This is just an example of how you then pick the flash of the stock market. This Meraf company, it does chrome and ferrochrome. And the chrome and ferrochrome price went up by 32%. Okay? No results, no financials, no trading update. It's just a ferrochrome price which has gone 32% up. So Bloomberg releases, ferrochrome has gone up by 32%. What do you think will happen to Meraf's revenue? It will go up. Okay? So if it goes up, what happens to the bottom line? The bottom line is profit at the end of the day. Earnings before interest, tax, EBITDA. What happens to the EBITDA? The profit. It will shoot. And Meraf was a loss-making company. The share price was 53 cents. The balance sheet is solid, no debt. And here is a very important fundamental. What do? You go in. Then you come on Twitter and say, Walala wasa. Done. So, Meraf, upon releasing their financials, for sure, their revenue had boomed. And their profit had boomed. And it boomed from 63 cents to R1.10. Are we together? And that profit alone from the Meraf was more than $30,000. So here we are harvesting 40 plus in Delta, 30 plus in Meraf. That's 7. The year is not over. We're still going. Here comes COVID. COVID-19. I told my wife that there are two options. Either we're going to die, or we're going to be very wealthy. So Sasol fell from 300 Rand to 20 Rand. Why? Why? Number one, investors were selling off COVID is here. Number two, Sasol, there was a class action lawsuit against Sasol in the US for price manipulation. So the price was going down. Number three, oil prices crashed. Remember COVID, where oil was being given for free, where it was negative. You remember? So their commodity crashed. It crashed from 300 Rand to 20 bucks. I almost sold the house. I almost sold the house. Only that there are no quick buyers in Zim. If we were in America States, I would have just sold it that day. Because we invested on Sasol, and they started recovering. As of yesterday, Sasol is sitting at what? 300 Rand. That's 15 times in US dollar terms. So on the South African market, what is making money is if the vaccines succeed, the economy is recovering, which makes money. Are we together? So if you look at now, they just finished the elections, and ANC lost quite some grip on the elections, but they're still in power. So what did the president do? He then said 800 billion rand to pump into infrastructure so that we get out of these COVID woes, so that the economy starts lifting up again. That's what you see in the newspaper. She's a journalist. That's what they write. But when I look at it, I'm seeing a president buying his next election. So it's got nothing to do with infrastructure. It's got everything to do with him retaining the power. And because power is the first important key to all the politicians, he is going to do it. So now, because I know he's going to do it, what am I looking at? Construction companies. But for you to be in the construction companies, you need power to fix that infrastructure. And South Africa is currently having erratic power supply. So what do you look at? Power producers, independent power producers. And now there was this COPD which they went just now for green energy and whatnot. South Africa got commitments of $8 billion US, which is approximately how much? Beyond 100 billion rand. And you then look who has that capacity to do it and what is their share price. And it narrowed down, okay, yeah, construction companies will benefit, but it narrowed down to Murray and Roberts. Murray and Roberts are in construction, they're into engineering, they're into power production. 80% of their revenue comes from power production, okay? In the US and in Australasia. What do you then do? You buy. Simple. Is the stock market difficult? What's difficult? Tell me. 2011, 1 trousers, 2 shirts. 2016, 16,000. 2017, before Mugabe was removed, just before I was a finance director in Abu Dhabi in a bank, 70,000. Upon him leaving power, I resigned, and immediately I was on a flight back home. 2018, 150,000. Someone talked of Dr. Guramatuna. Yeah, my portfolio was now a tenth of Dr. Guramatuna's portfolio. Then at 150,000, again you go on back on the drawing board. On the drawing board, no, this is not bond note, my dear. This is US dollars. Yeah. So at 150,000, I go back to the drawing board, which is what I want all of you to do. I'm very good with investing, making the money. I'm very good at that. But I realized something. I was walking on one leg. You can never reach your destination fast if you're walking on one leg. So stop walking on one leg. What do I mean by that? The stock market is like your bank account where you invest and, make your money and whatnot. Spin it, capital. It's capital and stuff. You need a business which generates the revenue. Are we together? That's your second leg. So once you have a business which generates money, on the stock market you immediately become a champion. Why? Because now you're walking on 2 legs. Are we together? So how does this help you? Okay, let's start. How does this help you to walk on 2 legs on the stock market? Huh? Okay, let's say you buy Delta. Huh? You guys love Delta. What is it? Okay, you buy Delta. So I have my scenario here. Scenario 1. Okay, so this is a very simple mathematical calculation, mathematical demonstration, which I'll show you. You will never make a loss on the stock exchange. Whether it goes up or down, it doesn't matter. Hello? It sounds like a joke, huh? You will never make a loss in your life on the stock exchange if you master this. If you start working on the second leg. Okay, so these are our scenarios, right? So the first scenario, we have an amount here. $1,000. Okay? You're buying Delta. At how much? Let's say, I'm putting US dollar figures. Let's say Delta is going for $5. What quantity are you having? Simple mathematics, Z, JC, GCE, O level. Even an idea no good. 5 into 1,000, yeah, you get 200 shares. That's quantity, huh? Then from there, yeah, that's it. So Then Delta. Maybe you are so happy when the stock market goes up, huh? Right? Because you're making money. I'm not happy when the stock market goes up. Because I'm losing an opportunity to make money. You get the point? So when Delta drops to $4, well, you were talking of EFE securities. When the market relisted and Delta was 17, I was the first person there. And Eddington Sanga said, oh, something is about to happen. If you see these people coming now, this one is special. Something is about to happen. And it did happen. And we're still happening. So Delta falls to $4. Then people panic. They start selling. Goes to $2. Your wife will tell you you're very stupid. Why did you do this? It goes to $1. Even your neighbor, Then it goes to 50 cents. Your wife will call the pastor. Say, come and pray for him. There is a problem. You're losing value, huh? You're sinking. Yeah, because you're walking on one leg. But if you've got a business which is running where you can draw money, what do? You add another. At 4. How much are we getting now? Did anyone see what happened? In as much as value is going down, what happened to the quantity? Are we together? It's called strategy. You need to be a good strategist. We put another 1,000 as it drops. How many do you have now? Do you see what's happening? From 200, where are we? It drops again. What happens? It drops again. How many do we have now? So am I going to be happy as the market goes up or down? So everyone here thinks when the market is going up, we're happy. I'm the only person here, the contrarian, thinking when the market is going down, I'll be happy. And you'll be crying, I'll be happy. That explains the shift from 2 trousers, 1 trousers and 2 shirts to beyond $200,000. With no loans, no help, nothing. Did anyone give me a donation here? That you have to see what the market does not see. I'll show you something about Shake Up, ZANU BF. Just remind me if I. So at the end of the day, if we do an average, you've made how much? You've put how much? But in terms of shares, 450, 950, 1950, 3950, huh? Am I correct? ZJC, GCE, ordinary level. Divide. 5,000 divided by 3,950, what's your average buying price? Huh? Please, someone with a calculator. Punch, punch, punch. Women empowerment. Can we have a woman to punch us? Please, please, please. How much? $1.26 per share. So do you think the CEO of Delta will be settled if the price moves down from $5 to 50 cents? I'm running Delta Beverages to making the whole nation drunk. Me. When the price is like this, he won't slip. So what does he do? He is to lift up the share price. And he will do it. Because he will be earning what? $30,000 a month? He can't lose it because share price is Radona. So there are many ways they can do to lift the price. One of the greatest assets we have as investors is my sister here. She doesn't know, but if I take her and work with her, Mawan. Because, so that's right, let's write an article. And the Get Bucks people will see it like, oh! You see? So price will start recovering. You see? If you mix a finance person and a journalist, that's terrible disaster. So now, if the price moves back from 50 cents to $5, which it will, because when price starts moving up, it's called momentum. He mentioned it, this guy, the young investor, momentum. And once it reaches $5, can we do the calculation? 3,950 at 5, how much? 3,950 times $5. 19,550. 19,750. How much did we put? ROI, return on investment. You should know these things. Return on investment, for every dollar you put, how much did you get back? How did you find your ROI? Huh? Okay. 19,750, huh? Where you are, divided by 5,000 minus 1, multiplied by 100 to make it a percentage. Can someone do the percentage return? How much are we looking at? 19,500 divided by 5,000 equals, then minus 1, huh? 295%, huh? Okay, this is for an average investor. I didn't say that's what I do. This is an average investor. Because as the price is here, and goes here, and here, and here, and here, the moment it touches this, that's where I go in with the 5,000. But you see, the average investor made what? 295%. Then I'll go in with the 5,000 at 50 cents. I get 10,000 shares. Then these guys work very hard. How much do I get? 50,000. Return on investment, 50 divided by 5, minus 1 as a percentage. Can someone, 900%. Are we together? It's very practical. The way I want to do the stock market is very practical. And I'm not giving you a theoretical example. This happened on Rio Tinto Zimbabwe. It fell from $6 to 22 cents during the GNU era. From $6 to what? 22 cents. And then what happened? Everyone will be like, my ways, son. My savings, yo. People will panic. Yeah. So if you hear the song The Gambler, do you know The Gambler? The song which is referred to the stock marketer. There's a part where he said, then I handed him my bottle. Then he drank down my last swallow. Then he bummed a cigarette and asked me for a light. Then somewhere in the darkness, his face what? Lost all expression. His face lost all expression. And he said, if you gotta play this game, boy, you gotta learn to play it right. You've got to know when to hold it, know when to fold it, know when to walk away, know when to run. You never count your money while sitting at the table. There'll be time enough for counting when the deal is done. So when he got the whiskey, his face lost what? Emotions. You can't buy your first share and keep it in a frame. A company is not your wife. Neither is it your husband. Neither is it your child. Neither is it your niece. A company is a company. When you get in, get your return. Salam alaikum. You're out. Because the whole point is to grow capital. Yeah. Are we together? So your face should lose expression. It means do not be emotional when you get in. So you should always know what to do. Are we together? Yeah. So that's basically it.